Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us for the Chicago Cook Transportation, Distribution, and Logistics Virtual Hiring Event. Today, we will be hearing from United Ground Express as they highlight the job openings they currently have. After the presentation has concluded, we will then be transitioning into a breakout room session where you will have an opportunity to ask any questions that you have directly with the employer rep on the line. Breakout rooms will be held as one continuous 45-minute session, and you will be able to move freely from the breakout room back to the main room as you see fit. Today's session is being recorded and will be made available on the Illinois WorkNet YouTube channel for you to refer to later. A couple things I want to note here. While we do have presenters speaking, just please be mindful if you are on audio or if you do have your camera turned on, please turn those off for the time being. You will have an opportunity, again, as we stated, to meet directly with the employers, also the YWCA Sector Center, or TDL Sector Center, excuse me, who we have on the line. So if you have any questions, please plan to reserve them for that time. In the meantime, please just be sure to keep yourself muted and your camera off to minimize disruption. One other thing that I want to note here quickly, you should have received this in an email about 12:45 or so, but if you do not yet have the most recent version of Zoom Client for Meetings downloaded, you'll want to be sure to go ahead and do so. This will ensure that you'll be able to utilize all the breakout rooms features that Zoom does currently have to offer. This includes things like moving freely from room to room, so on and so forth. So if you have to hop off the session to do that, feel free to do so. I will be monitoring that waiting room, so you will be able to rejoin. Don't worry. If you do have to leave the session, you'll not be booted out completely. I'll keep an eye on there and make sure that you get back in. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and introduce Mr. Robert Lewis with the YWCA TDL Sector Center of Chicago. Robert, are you available for a few opening remarks, sir?
I am. Thank you so much, Daniel, and the entire SIU team. As always, for everything that you guys do to help put these events together and facilitate them. So hello all, my name is Robert Lewis. I am the Business Development Manager for the Chicago Cook Workforce's Transportation, Distribution, and Logistics Sector Center, or as we call it, the Dream Team, which is powered by the YWCA Metro Chicago. We are very fortunate and thrilled for this opportunity to welcome you all to our first hiring event of the year virtually with United Ground Express. We are looking forward to interacting with you and helping you get into a new career. So without further ado, thank you again for joining us. I'd like to introduce you to Deanna Hans with United Ground Express. Deanna, are you available for a presentation?
I am.
Great.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here with you guys. I also did just send over a link in the chat for you guys to register just to check in for the event. So I have your contact info as well. Brief overview about who I am. I am the recruiter for United Ground Express over at O'Hare. So any passenger assistant agent that goes through there will have gone through me first. So I'm hoping to welcome you guys to be a part of that as well. Little background about United Ground Express. We are a subsidiary of United Airlines. I'm sure you are familiar with that global brand. We are a section of that. So we have about 70 locations across the US. We do lots of different things in all of those places, ranging from customer service and ramp over to cabin cleaning and lab and water. What we do at O'Hare is a little bit different. So I will get into that with you guys in just a moment. But yeah, we are here to support United in Terminal 1, Terminal 2, and all our other airports, so we do support other airlines as well. So here at O'Hare, we have a few available job openings. The main one we are focusing on right now is passenger assistance agents. So there are three ways I break this down into just to make it more digestible for you guys. The first one, the first role in this position is called queue management. In that position, what you're doing, you're checking boarding passes over at the security lines, making sure the right people are going through the right security lines. For instance, pre-check, a lot of people are going to want to get through that line, but they don't necessarily have it. So we're just making sure no one's getting through that shouldn't, and just redirecting people to make sure they do know where the proper place is. So lots of giving direction, face-to-face interaction with our passengers. Second thing we do is called vendor behind counter. With that, we are checking bags in for our passengers. There's a lot of heavy lifting with that position. I know I'm guilty of it as a passenger, just throwing everything in that bag and handing it off behind the counter. You will be behind the counter, so you got to be comfortable lifting at least 70 pounds for that role. The third thing, this is the biggest thing that we do here at O'Hare, it is our wheelchair services. With that, what we're doing is helping anyone who needs assistance getting to and from the plane. We will push them in wheelchairs and get them to their flight. Our goal is to get them there safely and on time, and of course, their bags along with them. So that is a majority of what that position entails. We have it available right now in both part-time and full-time roles. But throughout the station, there's lots of room for growth as well. So you're not just going to be stuck as a passenger assistance agent. You can move up to lead, dispatch, time and attendance, compliance coordinator, supervisor. I know our general manager there, he has been there over 20 years. So working in various roles throughout the company. It's definitely one of my favorite things about the company is we always are looking to promote from within. We want to move you guys up into bigger and better roles. This is where you start off, but I mean, the opportunities are endless once you have started with the company as well. Of course, we offer some benefits too. Starting off, I know you're all interested in what the pay looks like. We start off at $15 an hour. You can also accept tips on top of that too. So there is the opportunity to earn some cash. We have a sign-on bonus right now of $1,000. So half of that is paid out after 90 days. The other half is paid out after 180 days. So all you have to do is get through that probationary period, that first 6 months, and you got your $1,000 sign-on bonus. Any active employee on February 1st will also be receiving an additional $400 as a special award bonus, really just saying thank you. Like, hey, we made it this far. Thank you to all of our employees. We have various health, medical, dental, vision, 401k programs. And then my favorite thing to talk about personally are the flight privileges. I'm not sure if any of you have had the opportunity to fly for free, but I will tell you it is a different experience. It is a great feeling being on that flight, knowing that you did not have to pay for it. You get to fly standby completely free. If you want to purchase a ticket and know, yes, I'm getting on that flight for sure, I have that assigned seat, you do get a 20% off discount on that as well. So you have access to the cheaper fares. In addition to this, I know transportation can sometimes be an issue getting to O'Hare since it is on the northwest side. We have reduced fares for the CTA. So when you're leaving the airport, you do not have to pay the full fare. And then we do offer free parking as well. So either way, whether you're taking public transportation or if you are taking a car, you will have some place to either park or get there cheaper than usual. So that is what we are offering. Of course, there are a few qualifications for this position. So we'll go over that of what we are looking for in the ideal candidate. You would have to be over 18 or older to work here and have open availability. Now, availability comes into play because we are one of the largest airports in the world. We are open 24/7. All right, so the shifts, they could be early in the morning, middle of the day, or late at night. You would have to be open to work any shift, but once you do get your shift, it will remain pretty consistent for about 2 to 3 months at a time. So whatever days and hours you get will stay the same the week after, the week after, the week after. I don't know what those days and times will be yet though, so it's important that you are open. All right. We talked about the weight requirement a little bit earlier today. With lifting those bags, you do have to be comfortable lifting, pushing, and pulling up to 70 pounds because you're moving people and moving luggage around. You do have to be able to read, write, and speak English and use a computer and tablet. Tablets come into play every day at work. That's how you get your assignments so that you're not picking up random people. You'll know who's in front of you, where you're going to go meet them, pick them up, and then go ahead, bring them to the gate. Last qualification here is that you do need to be fully vaccinated. So that is either 2 doses of the 2-dose vaccine or 1 dose of a 1-dose vaccine. That is now a requirement for all new hires as well. All right, so that's what we're looking for in exchange. You get all those benefits that we just went over and the experience of working at one of the best hubs in the world. I might be biased. These are the two applications to apply. Like I said, both part-time and full-time we have available. So just go ahead, scan that QR code with your phone, and it will bring that application up for you. At the bottom there, we have our website that will have all of our hiring events listed on there. I do multiple hiring events each week. So it is very easy to get in for an interview. Like I said, you could get the event scheduled there. And this is my personal email address. You guys can go ahead, send me over an email if you are interested in the role. I know we're going to have a breakout session after this, so we still get the chance to talk. I get to learn a little more about you too, which I'm really excited for. But that is my personal contact info. If either you or anyone you know would be interested, you can always come directly to me as well. All right, so that is all that I got. I'm happy to answer questions for you guys. Happy to talk more in depth with you guys during the breakout session as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Deanna, for that presentation. And as Deanna alluded to, we will be having a breakout room session taking place now as we speak. So just a few kind of ground rules we're going to go ahead and cover before we open up that session here. Again, I just want to remind you, if you haven't downloaded the most recent version of Zoom Client for Meetings, you may want to do so. You can do so at zoom.us/download. This will just be sure that you're able to utilize all of the most recent features that Zoom does offer for the breakout rooms, i.e. moving from room to room, or in this case, from the employer room to the main session. Again, if you're having any difficulties or experiencing any difficulties moving freely from room to room, this could be your issue. Few instructions here that I'm going to keep up on screen once I do open up those rooms. You'll see here a toolbar that I took a screenshot of. This will just show you how to join a breakout room. Now, one thing that I do want to note here, the screenshots that I did take were on my laptop. So if you're joining by laptop, desktop, this will be similar to what you'll see once I open up those rooms. But if you're joining via mobile device, so, cell phone, tablet, something similar, you might not see that icon. You may have to click what you see off to the right-hand side there where it says more. You may have to click that tab, and then a drop-down menu should open up. About halfway down, you'll see an option for breakout rooms. You'll click on that. It should open up the window that you see in our second screenshot there. That'll just be a complete listing of all the rooms we have. In this case, we'll only have one room available. That will be, as I stated, United Ground Express. You'll just click off to the right-hand side there, that join tab that you see circled in red on your screen right now. You'll click join, and that will redirect you to that room. Again, I'll put this back on screen here before we begin so you can use it as a reference. Just a few things to note here. And actually, the second bullet point is incorrect there. But again, we'll have a few different folks from the YWCA, TDL Sector Center, and also the Chicago Cook Workforce Partnership in the room to assist with the discussions that will be taking place with Deanna. They'll be in there for some basic troubleshooting purposes. Instead of 30 minutes, as you see on your screen there, we'll actually have a 45-minute session taking place. And again, you are allowed to move freely from the employer room to the main room and vice versa. A final note here, you'll see our last slide, just a few ground rules. Be mindful of the employer's time. Obviously, we have many individuals on here. We want to be sure that everyone gets an opportunity to ask a question that they have. So once you have asked your question and received your response, please be sure to mute yourself to allow your fellow job seeker the same opportunity. We do encourage you to share your video or your camera, if you will, but please be mindful that everybody else can see what's going on in the background. So, just keep it respectful and professional. If you choose to not abide by those basic rules and be disruptive or inconsiderate, you will receive a verbal warning by our staff in the room. If you choose to disregard that warning, you'll be permanently placed on mute. If you are permanently placed on mute, you'll be able to ask questions through the chat, but the employer will only be able to answer those questions as time permits. So if you do unfortunately choose to cause further disruption through the chat feature, we do have partner staff in the room that will have the ability to eject you from the session if need be. If you are, unfortunately, you will not be permitted re-entry. That is unfortunately how Zoom operates. So again, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and open up these rooms. Once I have done so, again, just follow the instructions up on screen here. If you're still having trouble getting to the United Ground Express room, just let me know, throw me a message in the chat, and I will be sure to manually assign you to that room. Okay, our breakout room is officially opened. And again, please feel free to reach out if you're having difficulties joining that room.
We're back, Daniel. Thank you.
We made it.
We made it. That was great.
Excellent. Glad to hear that it went well, everybody. Looks like we still have about 30 seconds or so, excuse me, until everybody will come back in from the breakout room. So once they have, Robert, I'll turn things over to you to give a final wrap up or concluding statement, if you will, and then we will close out today's session.
And Daniel, I have one question in regards to registration.
Absolutely.
For future events, I don't know if this is, I know you can probably add to, but we want to know if they are WIOA candidates. Is there a way to build that into the registration?
There might be. We'll obviously talk about that probably more offline.
Sure.
And see what we can do as far as registration questions to capture that information best.
Absolutely. I look forward to it.
Absolutely. So it looks like we do have everybody back in from the breakout rooms, Robert. So if you want to go ahead and give a concluding statement or remarks, feel free.
Thank you again, Daniel, and the entire SIU team, David and Kimberly. Thank you, United Ground Express. Deanna Hans, thank you for your professionalism and the opportunity and trusting YWCA TDL to help you meet your employment needs. And then also thank you to my entire staff, Stacy, Nyatha, and then B, and LaShonda, our fearless leader. Thank you all for your assistance, and of course, Pat Moore at the partnership. We can't do it without you. So everyone, thank you for joining us. Thank you for recognizing the opportunity. I wish you well again in your endeavors. And please be on the lookout for more opportunities from the YWCA TDL sector. And also a weekly newsletter that we post on all social media hubs. It's just called the YWCA TDL newsletter. I think we're on our 12th edition now. Next week will be our 13th. So all things informative about the TDL sector, how to get into the industry, tricks and tips, and hottest jobs and different information, all for you in the TDL newsletter. So we look forward to having you guys engage with us. And again, thank you, Daniel and team, for the opportunity.
Excellent. Thank you, Robert. Just a few little things that I want to mention here before we officially close things out. I have recorded today's session, so if there's anything from Deanna's presentation that you need as far as information is concerned, if you didn't get questions answered or get your question answered in the breakout room, you will have access to all of that information that Deanna did present during her presentation. I should have that up within 48 hours or so, but more realistically, I'll probably have that up tomorrow before noon. So you can find that at the Illinois WorkNet YouTube channel. So just type in Illinois WorkNet into your search bar in YouTube, and it will be under the virtual job fairs playlist once you get on that channel. Thank you, everybody, for attending today. We hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you all.
Thank you.